This is my reality. All the good men have gotten married in their 20s and 30s because they're good men.
This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get all the cool merch in the description section. Also, you can go down to the tab. Now it's a carousel. Under the video, we can click on the merchandise and buy it there. Or you can click the link, or you can just go to the website at The Officer Tatum Store. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime we go live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to the channel. Like this video, comment on this, share this video. Let's get into this. All right, let me get into my next example. I was saying that this double standard, and I'm not here to comment on whether or not I think the double standard is justified or not, but there is a double standard. A female police officer go out and smash a whole bunch of dudes. She looked really bad. A guy go out and do it. They think, man, that dude must be a player. In the mind of a Christian man like myself, they both dirty and they need the Lord Jesus. Now, it's the same thing goes with schools. You have a female teacher sexing her students. In the minds of most people, generally speaking, they don't view it the same as if a male is having sex with a female student. Let's just use the age of 15. If a 15-year-old boy is having relations with his teacher, the other kids would probably give him a high five, especially if she's a good-looking teacher. They would be giving him a high five. And to be honest, quiet as kept, they don't even really treat these women that bad that mess with the boys. If a man sleep with a 15-year-old girl in his class, nobody high-fiving nobody. He's going to prison, rightfully so. But do you understand what I'm saying about the double standard? It's very interesting. These conversations come up a lot in the red pill community. If you don't know what the red pill community is, it's kind of like the community of men who are kind of standing up for what's most important to men. You know, kind of like the feminist movement. It's kind of like the red pill movement is like the movement for men. And the subject matter comes up often about what they call body count. Does that mean how many people you slept with with your partner that you're currently with? And I think that, and I know this is a weird topic, but like, I think this is something that people should be considering, especially if you're listening to me and you're single. You know, men are really concerned about how many people that a woman has been intimate with before they get in a relationship. Women may think to themselves it's not that important, because to women it may not be important, but to men it is a deal breaker for a lot of men. So internalize that when you go into dating.
Being single at 46 sucks. And I'm tired. And I make jokes about buffoons that I have been encountering in dating, but in reality, this is my reality. This is my reality. All the good men have gotten married in their 20s and 30s because they're good men.
What I tell men and women both is that mitigate your exposure to being romantically involved with people who are not your husband or wife. It is a rule of thumb that will help you in the long run, because the more people that you get exposed to intimately with is going to desensitize you. And not every time. Like, somebody out there done been with 1,000 people and they feel just normal with their wife. I mean, it's an anomaly out there somewhere. But generally speaking, when you do things like that, it breaks down your consciousness, and you find it very difficult to be committed to one woman. Over time, it erodes your consciousness and your morality. And before you know it, you done so much that when you finally marry somebody, all you can think about is all the other opportunities that you could have had or that you had. Those things, you know, in the Bible, it talks about fornication. It's not to put a cramp on your style. It's to, you know, those things that God has already ordained for us to do is to help you. And this is what some people don't realize. The more partners that you have is the more damage that you are bringing to the table. if you are a woman and you've been with 60 dudes, you know, your character is in question to a man that's now dating you. Why is that? It's because a man, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, men know that they don't treat women right. So out of 60 dudes, you was some dude's side chick. You was some dude was disrespectful to you, and you still play video games, is what I call it. You play video games with him. Some dude didn't treat you with respect. Some dude didn't deserve anything that you gave him. But when you are at that number, ain't no way in the world every dude that you talked to was a respectful man that was worth your time. You compromised on I don't know how many levels. You was somebody's side chick, second thought, and they never responded to you one night stand, at least one of them. And that really, I'm telling you, it really breaks down the fabric of what you're trying to do in the future. So both men and women, and maybe the people who are listening to me are maybe a little older, but please be mindful of not putting yourself out there, because what you do in the dark will come to light. And I told this story on my YouTube channel at some point. It was a young lady that I dated in college, and she went off after we broke up. She went off, and it was my fault. I broke up with her, and I ended up being in a serious relationship with another girl. But when we broke up, I mean, she went off the deep end. I mean, I heard so many stories and so many of my friends, and then like later in life, she come back because I'm the stable one of the rest of them, and wanted to see what would it be like to be in a relationship with me. And I was disgusted, and I told her, I'm sorry, but no, we can't, right? You know, my best friend, people that I know, how I'm gonna invite these people to the wedding, and y'all been, and I know some of these dudes ain't got no integrity. They the nastiest dude in the locker room, and no way. So I hope that I'm not hurting nobody's feelings about what I'm saying. I'm just keeping it real. But be mindful of these things so you don't end up in a headlock and end up in a bad relationship. Let me just say this too. I want to touch on this because I remember a caller called in, and I had made mention that a lot of times, not all, I never say absolutes. I don't think all Democrats are brain dead idiots. I don't believe that. I think that the majority of leadership are all power hungry, evil, godless people. The majority. But I don't think it's all. I don't think all men, all women, all anything. You hear me make a statement and I'm generalizing it. I'm saying in general, the general rule of thumb, not everybody. So I had made mention that a lot of times young men beware of women who have poor relationships with their fathers, because then it could end up being a bad relationship with you. So a woman called in and she go, I'm single and I'm this, and I said, do you have a good relationship with your father? She said no. And in my mind I said, see, you made my point. But the big picture here is that if you hear these things and you get exposed to the truth, do something about it. Don't get offended by it. A lot of women that have poor relationships with their father, they have a hard time understanding how to be a woman to a man because they didn't have a man that was an example of that. Their mother and father was not, and they don't have a good reputation with a man. If your father was a dirtbag, that was the first man you was exposed to. And so if he cheated on your mama and all this stuff, then you're going to have that in the back of your mind of, my mom was a great woman and that man cheated on my mama, so a man will cheat on me. And then the self-conscious part kicks in and the relationship is tainted.